Let's talk about iOS 13. On June the 3rd, Apple will announce iOS 13 to the world. We already have a bit of an idea of what it will look like because of some of the leaks that have come our way over the past couple of days. We know that dark mode is almost certainly a thing that Apple is finally putting into its iOS, but if you're the person waiting for a big redesign of iOS, it looks like you might have to wait a little bit of time yet. It seems odd to me, but Apple seems to be sticking with the same design that they've had since the inception of the iPhone. But because of that, there are some things that we know that Apple just won't include in this iOS release, so this is how I would like iOS 13 to look. First of all, I really want to be able to place the apps wherever I want on the home screen. Android has done this forever, but it's something that Apple just don't seem to be that keen on. The thing I like about Android is that you can kind of change the design of the OS as much as you want. You can place widgets places, you can put in brand new icons, you can change all of that around, and now people are keeping their phones for longer and longer. You do need to be able to change it up as much as you want, and you get really bored of looking at the same home screen over and over again on the iPhone. One of the big draws for Android for me is that you can change your phone home screen as much as you like. There are hundreds of different ways you can have it, different launchers, different icon packs, different everything. And the closest thing you can come to that on an iPhone is that you can create folders. As well as being able to place the apps anywhere you want on the home screen, maybe some fresh new icons would be quite nice as well for iOS. We know that Find My app is going to be getting a brand new redesign, and you can see that on this phone here already. I'm not asking for something massive, I'm just asking for a little redesign of some of the app icons, just something that makes it a little bit more modern than something that we have already. The ones that you can see on my phone here are all created by someone called Future Snow on Twitter, so you can go and have a look at a couple of them if you want to. The other thing that I want to see personally on iOS is to have some widgets on the home screen. I know that people at this point will be saying, well, if you want widgets on your home screen and put the apps anywhere, then go and get an Android, but I don't want to get an Android. I love iMessage and FaceTime and how easy it is to use the iPhone, but for £1,000, if you can't change the way your phone looks in 2 or 3 years, then you're going to get bored of it pretty quickly. Let's move on to the lock screen, and just a refresh of this would be amazing. We've had the same lock screen now forever. I like pretty simple designs, so the one you can see here is a jailbreak app called Jellyfish, and that's perfect. The quick toggles at the bottom as well, hopefully Apple will make customizable in iOS 13, because I've never used the Torch quick toggle, and the camera one is pointless because you can swipe from the right anyway to open the camera app. So if you're able to customize these to whatever apps you want, then that would be great. Another change that I'd quite like for Apple to put in is just a small one, but the charging animation and charging sound. I know AirPower is totally dead and RIP, but the animation that came with AirPower and the charging sound that came with AirPower, that looked pretty fresh and pretty modern, and that could be implemented into iOS 13 really easily. Lastly, as we've seen from the leaks already, that dark mode is possibly, almost certainly, on its way to iOS 13. And I'm hoping that it is a true dark mode. It is absolutely black, and it's not any of these off blacks or anything like that, because if you have a true dark mode, it can save your battery life. I think the dark mode could look fairly similar to this, so there's been a lot of jailbreak tweaks that have added dark mode to the iPhone for quite a while, and I think that Apple might be able to implement it a little bit better, and if not, take some ideas from these guys. A few smaller things that I'd like Apple to put into iOS 13 as well would be less intrusive calls, so the calls when they come through don't take up the entire screen. The same with Siri. I hope they put in a smaller Siri indicator. And of course, a smaller volume HUD. If Apple don't implement any of what I've spoke about into iOS 13, then I hope it's this, because I hate it. I hate the volume HUD that Apple have. I know that we have an idea of what iOS 13 will look like next week, but I'm hoping that Apple might surprise us and throw in a new design element or throw in something that we just don't expect. And what do you want to see on iOS 13? Leave your comments below and let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then do that now, please. And if you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, all the links to do that are below as well. And until next time, see you later.